Okay, let's continue on the job design. Okay, job design is to specify the task. Okay, we need to go detail on the task for each employees. Tasks that constitute a job for an individual or a group. Okay, sometimes you have, okay, let's say your position in the factory is facility engineer. Okay, so you're dealing with all the machine and so on, so you need to know what are the tasks that you need to be responsible for. So that's why the job must be properly designed, and the description must be clearly stated. Okay, so that everyone aware that the description for the facilities engineer is this one and this one is one. Okay, so it's easy for the company to decide what are the salary going to be, and what are the jobs, the level of skill and education that match for the job. Okay, so we have the first one is job specialization. Second one is a job expansion. And then we have psychological component. We have self-directed teams. The fifth one is motivation and incentive system. And the sixth one is on the ergonomics, okay, and the work environment. Okay, so they have six category or six element in the job design. Okay, we go for the first one on the job specification. Job specification is specified, it's very specific. Okay, it's more on repetition, especially you work in the assembly line. Let's say you are dealing with the task of covering, okay, covering the, let's say you are making the toaster, okay, the toaster. So you are dealing with the part on put on the cover after finish all the assembly, the inside part of the toaster. So your job is very specific on putting on the cover. That's it. Okay, so it's easy to train. Okay, because you'll be dealing with the same task for many years. So the error of human error is quite low, because you are dealing with a simple task and a very specialized tools. Okay, that's we call job specialization. So very specific. Okay, but nowadays most of the industry or manufacturer, they want their employees to have multiple skill. Okay, so they can do the assembly on the last part. Okay, they can help to go to another workstation, so that the employee also will feel that they have more than one skill. Okay, this is a job expansion. Okay, this is where adding more variety to a job instead of doing one job for 10 years. Okay, nowadays they are introducing job expansion to reduce the boredom, or maybe the workers feel so boring. Maybe after a few years doing the same thing over and over again. So they introducing job expansion, in which we will look at the job enlargement, okay, job rotation, job enrichment, and employee empowerment. Okay, we look one by one. The first on the, okay, these are the present job. Okay, let's say for example, yeah. And then enlarge job means that you move horizontally. So the level of skill is the same, okay, and but maybe they have a different task. Okay, for example, before this, they insert and solder 6 resistor. So they going to enlarge. They going horizontally. So maybe they add one more task in putting the label on the PC board. Okay, and then they can also introduce another task before the soldering process. Maybe they can lock printer circuit board on the fixture. Okay, so these employees or worker have 3 tasks that he can do at once. So they going horizontally. The other one is the enriched job, in which that you go one level higher. Okay, you go vertically, more responsibility, or maybe a bit challenging, but it's within the scope. Okay, and then for example, for these particular workers, maybe they add for the going for planning. Maybe he involved with the planning of the next process. Okay, and also he can go for controlling the testing. Okay, that's another enrichment of his job. Okay, and then we go for job rotation. Okay, job rotation usually when you go for your internship, they will give you a rotation. It means that you go to different department, okay, during your internship, so that you learn something from each department. Okay, they call it a job rotation. And by having all this kind of variety of job, the worker skill will be enhanced. Okay, so maybe within a few years the workers can upgrade and then maybe can move to another level. Okay, and maybe they can go up to the supervisory level. Okay, so they can expand their career instead of by having a very flat or same position for many years, but whereby having job expansion, the employees can go to a different department. Let's say after this, the workers can go for QC department, okay, quality control, or he can go into the testing department. Okay, so maybe if he want to go involved in the maintenance, and then he will go for maintenance department. So the employees have more choices, okay, uh, in their job. Okay, and employee empowerment means that when the workers have proper training, have a proper experience, okay, enough experience, then they can upgrade to another level. So it's not just one position for many years. Okay, so there's a path for them to grow their career. Okay, so next we look at the psychological component of a job design. Okay, we need to know how to design a job that meets some of the minimal psychological requirement. Okay, let's say that you need to work outdoor, so you need to consider what are the preparation that you need to give training for your employees. Okay, and if you work at a very harsh area, okay, maybe you have a job in the rural area, let's say, so you have to make sure that the person that you hire is fit for the job psychologically. Are they ready? Maybe for the harsh area, maybe you don't send a woman to go there. Maybe you can send men first. Okay, and then assess the area. Then once you have the information, then you will consider is it okay to send a female staff to the place. So these are the requirements that you need to consider when designing a job. Okay, not just for the skill, for the talent, but also for the readiness of their psychology for the certain job. Okay, especially when it involve outdoor. Okay, when it involve lots of going to another places, remote areas. So all of this you need to consider on the job identity. Okay, the skill varieties, maybe they need more than one skill for the job. So all of this the human resource need to consider. Okay, and then also individual differences also, they have a different perception on the job. Okay, okay, the fourth one, self-directed team. Okay, self-directed team is a group of empowered individuals working together to reach a common goals. Usually, this team have worked together quite for a long time, and they do understand how each other uh, skill and talent to complement. Okay, so uh, usually they have the proper skill, the proper training to do the job. So the autonomy or the decision making are done by the team. Okay. So to maximize the effectiveness of self-directed team, when you have already a self-directed team in your organization or your company, you don't have to worry about them. They can manage and they can do the things that they need to do. Okay. So supervisor can release their control, so the team can make their own decision. Okay. All right. When we put the level, okay, start from the specialization, in which the very specific tasks, and then you go to enlargement, in which you go same level of skill horizontally. Then you start introducing enrichment, in which you go vertically, okay, by adding a challenge. And then empowerment. Okay, empowerment means that the employees already have the autonomy, okay, to make decision, okay, and then they have the proper skill. And then when they combine together, they will form a self-directed team, in which they can move on their own independently, and also they have a multiple skill. Okay. Right, what are the benefit of team and expanded job design? Okay, what are the benefit by having all this training, all these um, skills, okay, in which is improve quality of work life, means that everybody work in harmony, everybody knows what are their responsibility, and then everybody is happy with their job, so the job satisfaction is very high at the workplace, and it increase motivation, and also at the same time it will increase productivity. Okay. And then also the quality also going to be in a very high standard, because everyone knows what to look for in the quality, and reduce the turnover, in which most of the employees stay in the same company, and will reduce the absenteeism, because everybody is happy at their workplace. Okay, these are the limitation of a job expansion. Okay, sometimes because of having a job expansion with all the trainings, all the job variety, so a bit of cost, okay, in providing the training and so on. Okay, and some individual may be resistant. Okay, dia tak suka macam Allah banyak sangat lah nak buat benda baru, some, but the company need to tackle how to solve this. Okay, and then the salary or the wage going to be higher, because the employees are doing more than one task. So maybe you need to have some allowance if the employees have a certain skill, additional skill. Okay. And then a smaller labor pool, maksud dia if everybody can do a multiple task, so you don't need a big group, so you manage with a small group. But the problem is you may face that if everyone decide to leave at once, okay, tiba-tiba semua nak berhenti, let's say, so you have a difficult in balancing the company without them. And again, a high training cost. Okay, the fifth one is the motivation and incentive. Okay, this is the part that the human resource need to consider. Okay, for example, you need to motivate them. Okay, once they're doing a good job, you give bonuses. Okay, if the company have a good revenue on that year, so everybody have their share. And then profit sharing, okay, gain sharing by having rewards. Okay, the best employee of the month. You introduce if the team have zero defect, okay, you give some reward for the team. And then incentive plans, maybe you can further study to higher level of education by the company sponsorship, and so on. So all of these are one way to make sure that the employees are really happy and appreciated by the organization. Okay, so definitely the employee performance will go up when they have the proper incentive and motivation. Okay, the last one is the ergonomics and the working environment. This one is very important. Okay, when you have do the job design and all that, and then you need to provide the environment, the workplace. So the first one is ergonomy. Ergonomy is the study of interface between man and machine. Okay, how the man or the human dealing with the machine, how to carry a heavy load. Okay, for example, this is the correct way to carry heavy load. And even they study for this UPS company, they study on the movement of the employees. Okay, so whether it is safe to run or to hold the box like this, so they study. And this one is some of the organization, they even prepare a proper or more ergonomics way of doing their job. For example, this one, they separate the keyboard. Okay, they have a special keyboard for this task, because they are dealing with both hands. And also they need to train, they need to provide proper tools and equipment, okay, for their employees. And feedback from the operator is very important. So the operator will give feedback, or the workers will give feedback. Oh, it is too heavy for us to handle. Maybe we need a trolley, or we need something to help us to carry this big box. Okay, so the workers, they are giving the suggestion to improve their job. Okay, and then on the work environment, we will look into illumination. Okay, the lighting, the noise, temperature, and humidity. And these are the recommended levels of illumination. Okay, for the assembly task, you need a high illumination compared to uh, other. For example, when you're in a warehouse, you don't need a very strong light, let's say. Okay, for assembly tasks, or maybe in a small detail, okay, you need a higher illumination. Okay, and these are the level of illumination. Okay, the maximum one is going to be 100. Okay, this one you need a very like a focus light for your job. Okay, overhead ceiling light and desk lamp, very focus. Or this is just a overhead ceiling light, okay, for the warehouse, because they're dealing with the large object. And then decibel level is for the noise. Okay, when you reach a certain level, let's say 80 decibels, so you need to wear PPE. You need to wear the ear muff. Okay, if not, it will in the long term it will cause damage to your hearing. So very important, especially when you're dealing with a long, like 8 hours exposure, then you need to wear the PPE. Okay, so make sure that the employees are provided with all the proper PPE. Okay, on the next video, okay, I will show you on the method analysis.